Tabitha. Can you hear my music tab?
Last night, and you're ready.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I could.
Perfect.
I can't now, though. That was weird. I heard it when I logged on.
Okay, maybe if I mute myself.
That's so weird. I heard music as soon as I logged on, and then you asked me, and it went away.
Weird.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, just as I stopped the share. I had to blur my background because it's all the camp stuff.
Oh, I'm so sad. Look how cute my party pack mailers are. For my other ones I'm making.
Oh, look, 1 second. I am on a different screen.
Oh, just kidding.
Just a minute. I do want to see them. 1 second.
You're fine.
I'm going to go back to my little screen share situation. Oh gosh, I have too many buttons, too many folders. Okay, now can you hear it?
Yes.
Perfect. I can never find my screen though.
I always have that problem.
Because if I click Zoom, it just like takes me to
The volume, like
the
where you
thing.
can-
I can't find the actual meeting.
videos.
But doing all of my crazy windows. See if that helps me find it. It like literally won't let me see you guys.
That's so weird.
I think it just wants me to do this. You know what? Now I can't see you guys. Show meeting. What the heck? I don't understand. Hide meeting. No. More. No. Being crazy. Here's a oh. Did I fix it? No, I still can't see people.
The music stopped too. Were you supposed to still be playing that?
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Okay.
Well, now I can see myself sharing my screen myself. Okay. What is wrong with you today? Okay, stop the share. Let's try this again. It did not like whatever I was doing.
It's like, no.
Much better. Okay, now I want to see your packets.
Okay. Are
They're
they
very
so cute?
Are they like poly bags?
Yeah, from Magical Mailers, and then oops.
They're so cute.
Then I've got all my guts out here on this. So I got our samples, and then I made the Tic Tacs that you were meant to join. Oh, it won't blur in, but you were meant for more.
Well, that's
And
cute.
it's got like.
And they match it.
I know. Isn't that so fun?
Yeah.
And then my newsletter for this month with the Sun on the Month sample. And then I was so glad Kristen posted. I do this every season, but she updated it. And I was like, oh, score. I didn't have to do that.
Nice.
And look how many little states I've got checked off for parties that I've
Where
had.
did you go?
I know.
I can't believe you don't have like Kentucky or Tennessee or something.
I know.
Like...
Isn't that ridiculous? Like I'm headed out to the West, but I haven't conquered all the states around me yet. So, I mean, I have customers in those states, but I'm looking for party hosts.
Let me party.
Yeah. So this week I checked off Vermont, and there was another one. Vermont. Something else on the East Coast. Up by New Hampshire. I forget what it was.
Lighting in here. If I put my glasses on, I feel like it's like super dark.
That's so weird.
It's all fluorescent, you know, camp.
Yeah, oh yeah.
President have migraines at the end of it.
You feel like you're back home?
Uh-huh. I love walking in here for the first time.
It's the best feeling.
You
Freaking Tiffany is sick.
What?
Tiffany is
I
sick.
know. I
Did he
told
tell
her to
you?
like wait till Friday and see.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'll unmute. Hold on. Or
well,
I'll.
I don't, she doesn't need to see how cute I look in my Christmas pajamas and my elf hat.
Erin,
Like I'm in my Christmas pajamas.
I love this so much.
I don't think
I
they can see
miss
anything
you.
incriminating.
I
But
miss you. I'm so sad I'm not there.
I
Or
know.
won't be there. It's
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna have fun.
the feeling of 5 gum.
Yeah,
Next year,
next
I'll be
year.
back.
Next year for sure.
She's
Yep.
tricking people.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep. I am. I gotta figure this out because the weekend camp always is the weekend of the biggest event. That's the only sucky thing is it's the
Yeah.
biggest one.
So
Like
it's not just one of them, it's the biggest one.
it's the biggest one. Yeah. 550 people this year. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
so I'm
Yeah,
like,
that is a lot. That's hard.
yeah. Yeah. I'm literally taking almost 200 guns for this event. It is
For what?
insane. 200 guns. And normally I take 100.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We be busting through them. It's a good time. It's just a lot. Guess I'll get
No.
off my floor now.
Get this done real quick.
Now, open definitely in the house. With stores, and you know, LA up in this, Pasadena, where you at? Yeah, Inglewood.
Should want to switch devices.
In Hollywood, I'm trying to get a piece of baby. Sacramento, where you at?
These hits essentials. Apple Music.
Question. Do you ever set up a mail merge yourself, Tabitha?
Mail merge and what?
Like on Word?
I do it in Excel.
Oh, well, I mean, I have all the data and I brought it into Word. I just can't get it to like I can get the first label to show up with that with the information I need, but I can't get it to like make a series of the labels.
I had to install a extension when I did Excel, but I don't know if that's like that with Word.
Hmm.
Like I don't Word.
Oh, I was just overthinking it is really all that was happening here.
Okay, perfect. I love when it's something silly like that.
I was trying to like, how do I tell it to go to the next record? It just does. I don't have to tell it to do anything.
Speaking of overthinking on things like that, do you know, is there a setting on because I got that new printer, but and it prints so good except for like images, like my face. It gives me like Dominic eyes. Is that
Oh,
normal?
weird. Is it a laser jet?
Yeah.
Oh, it might be
Is it
that.
like a
They don't do pictures very well.
okay. Like colors look fantastic, but I look horrid. I like evil. Like cool, cool, cool. Friends.
I think I did it.
Yes.
Last time we was able to the front.
Wow, look at all that stuff. Naisha, I'm so sad. So sad. You on mute, girl.
I'm so sad too.
Need to
I
stop.
am like in my house, like just no, there's no backpacks. I'm not getting up early in the morning to go to the airport. I don't like adulting. It's ghetto. But I'm not missing camp ever again.
Like never, never again.
Never, ever, ever. I was like, when I typed you that message, I was literally
How
on
did
the
you guys get
Friday.
highlighted? How do I undo that?
You don't. We're special. We're the first 5. Look at that.
No, but actually I need to know. I don't know why it's doing that.
I know, I'm just teasing you.
That's so funny. Why? How do I unspotlight? No. I don't know how it's doing that.
Where's Melissa? I think she has to do that on
Hey,
shift.
Sasha, I'm gonna hit remove. If it kicks you out of the call, can you just come back in?
Ugh, how very dare you?
Don't take it personal if it ejects
Wait,
you.
it just threw you up there now. Is it just the people
Oh, you
that are
must
muted?
have it on whoever's speaking. So,
yeah.
view.
But I'm not
top-
up there and I'm talking.
Oh. So top right where it says view, what do you have selected?
Oh, it is a weird view. Multi-speaker view. I've never seen that before.
Ah.
Is it not showing that way for everybody? Is it just me?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's just what you have selected.
Oh, okay. If you guys can, those of you who are on here, except I believe most of your leaders are already here. If your leader's not here, message them and tell them to hop on. I might be the only team in the world that has to say, if your leader's not here, message them because your teams are all here. There we go.
It's fine. It's perfectly normal. I'm sure of it.
I can hear the music. You guys can't.
Well, I can kind of hear it. Come on, Stinky Joe.
There you guys go.
Come on. Come on.
Tell them to get on
Come
there.
on.
No, my directors notoriously do not come to our calls, but their teams are all here. You just gave.
Melissa, it's packed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. She's very, very grateful.
Bring the kitty.
Very grateful.
This is Stinky Joe.
Oh.
This is Brandon's cat. He'd be very upset if I brought him. His name is Jake, but I call him Stinky Joe because he has the stinkiest poops ever.
We do some upward accountability. Deb is here.
Hello.
Tabitha, it wouldn't be Wednesday if a cat didn't make an appearance.
This is true.
Here's the bunk signs if you need them too, and I have the poster tape. Hi, Deb. I'm not at my house. I'm gonna turn off the music.
Oh. Oh, man. It's a party.
Hi, Deb. And Naisha will miss you, and Tabitha will miss you.
We are at there we go. We are at camp. So we do a little camp for our teams together. Me and Aaron Shiflett and Melissa Gratz do.
Nice.
And it's camp week.
And I'm making Christina dinner right now in the air fryer, a pizza.
Nice.
It's camping at its fullest.
At the
That
fullest.
is.
Aaron
It's-
is getting our bunks ready. So we have it's
Yeah.
Girl Scout themed this year. So they sleep in bunk
Nice.
beds in this building. It's a huge we're at
Wow.
like a YMCA camp.
Yeah. I'm tempted to say something else here, but I'm just gonna
You
button
can
it up. So that looks super fun. And I'm gonna say that an air fryer is glamping, in my
It's
opinion.
glamping.
If
Air
you
fryer
need
is glamping.
electricity, it's glamping, right? Maybe not.
Glamping is the soda machine that we have access to all
Yes,
day,
that
too.
too.
I had my background blurred because I didn't want some of my campers are going to be on tonight. I didn't want them to see anything, but
Oh,
it's just some
We
random.
can't really
So
see
I
any.
think it's really nothing's
We can't
super
tell what anything
strict.
is.
Yeah.
oh. No, I'm just intently watching Melissa make that pizza, actually. So,
I'm really excited. We usually go out to eat the night before, or at least one time, but we have so much to do. So we went to Walmart to get a couple things we needed and picked up some little deep dish pizzas that are air fryer sized. So that's dinner.
I hear you. Well,
As
I
things
have never
get better.
stayed at a Ritz-Carlton, but it sounds like the most amazing version of camping ever.
It is fully indoors and it is icing and snowing out right now. So hopefully the weather's better tomorrow.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
So it'll be all right.
Okay. I'm still at work and they are vacuuming outside my door, so hopefully you can't hear that so
I
much.
cannot hear it.
Great.
I cannot. So
I saw Deb Bowden in St. Louis.
You did. I know. How you doing?
Good. Before you snuck out.
Yeah, I had to be in 4 different places, 2 different countries across the schedule. So that was my most difficult turn from St. Louis to get to Mexico City because Susan Averitt was supposed to go and at the last minute could not go. And so I was trying to get there earlier so we could change everything up. And I was disappointed because it was a fun day and a fun group.
It was a small group, but it was good.
Hmm? Yeah,
we got lucky. We had Deb in Louisville
that was fun.
and we had Dan in Columbus. So we got to run the whole gamut.
Yeah.
Becca,
Yeah.
is that toast?
Yeah, sorry. I'll
I
like
don't
a
mind.
hot mess.
No, I think you should absolutely eat when you need to eat. I just love it. It looked like buttered toast, and I was like, that actually looks really good right now. I haven't eaten, hence Melissa making me dinner right now. I'm very
All
excited.
day?
No,
Oh.
I've eaten. I ate on the way here. I drove up around 1 p.m. and I ate then. So, but now we've just been working all afternoon, getting stuff ready and all night, and then we just lost track of time. And I was like, all right, it's time to just hunker down, finish up. We've got a lot done. We're almost there.
Nothing like a deep dish pizza though at 10 p.m., huh?
Is it? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it'll be 10 by the time you're eating your pizza.
That's true. We'll be up for a while tonight, though. We've got a lot to do.
That's good.
But our campers don't come till 1 p.m. tomorrow, so we can possibly sleep in a little bit.
Unless you're talking about Lacey Husband and Shelley Denham, they'll be there at 12:59.
That's what they said. They're going to be there at 12:59.
Do you give prizes for the early arrival? Is that what's going on?
Nope.
Okay.
We do on our call tonight. We do first 5 to arrive get a prize.
Ooh.
So, but camp, no. Their prize is getting to see us first. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
So, no, it's going to be fun. We've got 45 people coming
That's
tomorrow.
fantastic. That's
It's going to be
great.
really fun. So, all right, what time is it? It is
7,
9 p.m.
7, 9.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. If there's anybody that you know was looking forward to coming tonight, go ahead and message them and let them know we're getting started. We are not doing trivia tonight. I apologize. I love you all. I owe you. We will do trivia at some time. I mentioned to Melissa earlier, I saw on Facebook Memories that we've been doing trivia for years, probably since year 3 of me being a consultant. And we used to do battle trivia where we would have another person's team come and do trivia against us and see who won. So I think that as a special treat, we might fight Melissa's team in trivia sometime this month. So I'll get you guys more details about that. But Deb, we usually do workstation trivia after our call on every month, and it's all the news articles done in trivia format, and it's really fun. So
My goodness, bless your heart. That's amazing.
we have a lot of fun with it. So, but we're not doing it tonight, mostly because I'm busy with camp and I wanted to give Deb as much time as possible, whereas I usually rush off so that we can go do trivia. So I want to make sure that Deb has the floor, and then I knew you guys would understand. So, and most of it, a lot of you I get to see tomorrow, which is really exciting. So, and then Deb, Sarah Ford, I think is here too. She's another SSD on my team, and some of these are her teammates as well. which I think you know Sarah Ford.
I do.
But we'll see you guys. We'll get to see you guys in real life in April.
Hmm.
Is that Christmas lights? Yeah, Sarah, you still have your Christmas tree up. It's just a festive tree now.
Yeah, you just wait long enough and then it's actually up early.
I know, it's all ready again.
The tipping point there.
All right. Well, we have Deb Bowden here tonight, guys, from home office. If you don't know her, I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit. We are super casual, so I'm just going to let you take over, Deb, as just a respect to your time, but you can get started whenever you're ready.
Okay, super. Well, thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here and to see so many familiar faces, and for those that are less familiar, friendly faces. It's an awesome way to wrap up my work day. And I know many of you have work to go, so maybe that was a bad way to start. As you heard, my name is Deb Bowden. I've been with Scentsy now about 7.5 years, and it's hard to believe because it's gone by like that. Yet I'm just so excited for everything that's to come. So it's moving quickly, but not in a frustrating way at all. It's just so exciting to work with all of you. Just quick, short story on what brought me here. I was, 8 years ago, had a couple kids in high school and working at a job that I loved, and my life was super busy and life was good. And I was driving one day and I felt like I heard this voice that said, you need to look for another job. And that made absolutely no sense. But I've learned to never ignore those things. So I went home and I looked online and I saw that this local company, Scentsy, and I live only 7 miles away, but I'd never been to the campus, had a training team. So I thought, well, I'll just send a letter and say, hey, I work in training and development, and it'd be fun to talk sometime about all the cool things you're doing, because they did not have a job posted. So fast forward, I end up meeting with Heidi and Orville within a couple of days, just chatting casually. They extend a job offer. I'm stunned. I try to stall because again, I was happy where I was, but I've got this voice kind of thing. And I end up at this big culminating dinner for this huge community event that I'm working. And they're all the big VIPs from the Northwest United States and mostly Idaho. And I'm looking around at the business tables to see where Heidi and Orville are, because they're business VIPs and I don't see them at all. And instead I see them off to the side, and they're both wearing aprons and they are serving meals and clearing plates. And I thought, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. I'm a huge fan of servant leadership. I actually like transformational leadership as well, but their example of servant leadership as a way to transform people was so inspiring to me, and to just see that in real life. And I couldn't wait to come and work with them and all of you to make those things happen. So tonight I'm here to talk about the weekly journey planner, which actually comes from a Heidi and Orville conversation. And I hope that you have that in front of you. If not, I'll share my screen in a minute and we can take a closer look at it. So here's a little bit of the background. When Heidi and Orville were away for 3 years, they were working with this group of people, and the task of that group of people, these missionaries, was to forge relationships with people. And if they wanted to learn more, teach them and kind of move them along in that relationship to learn more and more and more if they wanted, right? And they found that people would just get stuck in one place or another. So they figured out a system that was based on always extending an invitation. And the basic instruction around this whole journey planner and what they were doing there was, every time you talk to somebody, extend an invitation. Every time. So we created this journey planner to spell out some of those invitations along the customer journey. It is not all inclusive, but we'll just walk through the little scenario that is portrayed here, the problem with the way it's portrayed here, and then talk more about some other examples. So here we have on this example some invitations, A through J. You'll already be able to call out some that are missing. And when I turn off my screen share, you can tell me what those are, other invitations you might extend to customers. But this shows that on the 3rd of February, I talked to Jane. And as I was talking to Jane, as a new person I didn't know, because that's really the focus here, not existing customers, it's new people. And the reason it's paper is because that's a pretty friendly and approachable way as you're having a conversation with someone to capture that information versus whipping open some kind of electronic device and doing it that way. But you do you. So I met with her on the 3rd and we got to talking and I mentioned that I work with Scentsy and she mentioned that she loves fragrance and we had just such a nice back and forth. And I said, you know, would you be interested in trying it? And she said, well, gosh, based on this conversation, I don't even have to try it. I'll buy some. What would you recommend? And so we have a little bit of a conversation about fragrances she likes, etc. And so she determines that she will buy some Scentsy, at which point I circle the letter B. That's the invitation that was extended. And then the next day, that order is entered. And so in the date completed column, I enter the 4th, that's the day she completed it. And I think to myself, okay, what would be the next logical invitation to extend? Now, remember here, you don't have to do these in order and you don't have to do every one. I'll come back to a story about that in just a second. So I think, well, she's new, a person I just met. I sent her a few different things. I'd really like to check in with her and see what she really liked best. And so I'm going to target a repeat purchase as the next invitation. And I decide, here's where this example is bad, that I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do it on the 5th because that would be crazy. She doesn't even have her stuff yet. So I decide that it might be, if you're following 113, right, that it might be a month out, or that it might be, if you're doing 222, that it might be a couple of months out. You decide, you put that date in. And then I'm going to have a new weekly journey planner for that week when I am following up with Jane. At this point, Jane might move entirely to my Connect app for tracking, but we want you to have this frame in your head about all the invitations that you could extend. Now, you know this as well as I do, that you might get to talking to some people and we have the data to prove it. And they say, no, 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 don't say anymore. Could I do what you do? And you say, yeah. And now you're at J, right? You're extending the invitation to join, to learn more about the opportunity. So you might start there. You might start there and they say, no, 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 well, on second thought, that seems to be a little bit more than I would want to do. Could I host like a party or something, get some of my friends together and see if they might like it? Aha. All right. Now I'm in about the EF range there for invitations. But the key is to always be extending an invitation to move that relationship along. Now, let's come back to the idea of it not having to be sequential. Years ago, in my prior role, I coached salespeople and I taught sales training, like serious sales training with quotas and all that other stuff. And we had a guy who was just the model student in every training we would do. You would do a role play, he would have all the perfect answers. And people would look at him and say, man, if I could be like him with my clients, I would be amazing. Yet, he really struggled to make his numbers. So we thought, well, let's send someone to watch him and see what's going on. So we send someone in the field to watch him, meets with his client. And the interesting thing was, she's talking it through, and the client starts to say things like this. So how soon could we move forward and wrap this up? And the salesperson pulls back and says, well, let me just tell you a little bit more about the features of the program. And he does his thing. And then the client says, so like, would it be a purchase order? Or could we just, could we just electronically transfer that money to get this going? And every single time they're waving this green flag, come on, let's go, he's just pushing back. So they get in the car, this observer and this salesperson, and the observer says, man, I think there were just lots of clues there that the client wanted to move faster. What was going on? And I'll go back to the planner sheet just as our example. If he were using this planner sheet, he would have said, yeah, well, that would have been J, and I'm only on D. Don't do that, okay? As we forge these relationships, we're listening to what would bless the other person's life, to how we could help. If they love fragrance, is that it? Do they need some extra money? Is that it? Right? So we're listening for those things and then getting in this mindset that we're always extending an invitation. It is not that this hasn't been done by anyone, and many of you may be very good at this, but I think we've seen so many people get a little bit stuck that they say, well, did you like the order? Okay, great, thanks. In fact, I was doing one of the world tours and we were going through some scenarios, and Sarah threw out a scenario that somebody just placed a huge order. And I said, great. So if somebody placed that huge order, what might the next thing you say be? Thinking in my head, invitation, where are we going? And the person, just very polite, said, I would say thank you. So a lot of times we just say thank you and we stop it there. But honestly, if in the spirit of blessing and moving things forward, it's all about extending these invitations. So we purposely went old school with this paper tracker. And like I said, a few things are missing. So I'm going to pull up my chat and see if you noticed what other things might you invite people to do that aren't there, that aren't there. Sarah had a good one above. I'm going to fundraiser. Yes. Yes. So you could make that, your letter K if you wanted. You might decide, you know what? I don't really need to separate whether it's a virtual event or an in-person event. Those could be the same letter. So you could mix this up if you wanted. Yes, you can see the chart again to know what's missing. I probably made that harder for you. Hold on just a second. Share and chart. There we go. So we've got try Scentsy, buy Scentsy, repeat purchase, join club, host a virtual event, host an in-person event, do that again virtually, do that again in person, then attend I like the way we wrote this actually, attend a Scentsy get together. So that could be somebody else's event, right? Or a team get together or a home office event. And then learn more about the Scentsy opportunity. Yeah, a different kind of party, a basket party, pouch party, good. And you could decide that maybe your E is an all-purpose link then for virtual / basket / not in person, whatever you want. Great. Okay. I could zoom this too for you a little bit because it's so small. And then let's see, is that a little bit better? So the instructions are on there. You can print this off from your workstation, but it's really about meeting new people, tracking your progress and their progress, and then planning that next invitation. Now we left a big blank up here where it says set a goal to talk one-on-one to at least blank people you don't know yet. When we first had this conversation at home office, Orville said, well, I think, why don't we say like 7 people a day, 7 days a week? And we all just braced ourselves for what that would have looked like on this sheet if you pulled it down and it said 49 people every week. That's a lot. You have to decide. Now, at the same time, I would say, remember, we grow when it's uncomfortable and we don't grow when we're not. So if you say, yeah, I'll talk to like 1 or 2 new people a week, and that's your norm, I would say push yourself there so you can continue to grow. Sarah, thanks for the link to this sheet. So you have it there. Again, you're marking the invitation, circling the one you extend, checking it off when it's complete. You're printing out a new sheet every week. If you want to keep tracking people on here from week to week, you can. Once you move them to connect, though, we're not suggesting you need to do additional work to make this happen. We're just trying to get you into this zone of extending invitations. Now I'm going to turn to the wise SSDs who are here to say, what would you add about your experience? I'm sure you've probably done this, maybe not in this form, but to get yourself in that mindset of always extending invitations and moving things to the next step. Any thoughts there?
I can talk, Christina. I after a world tour, I took my kit with me to my son's basketball practice to open up just kind of a dialogue a little bit. Also, because I hadn't opened it and I wanted to see everything, and it was right after. And there was a girl there. And the first thing she said to me, I told her, like, she was looking at me, and I was like, she just kept looking at me, and I was like, you can come over here. So then she like disappeared, but then she came back and she was like, first thing she said was, I feel like I smell really bad because I've been working all day and I work with kids and blah blah blah, which I thought was a really interesting segue to like my job. Um, so I mean, I did kind of I feel like I didn't exactly invite her to purchase anything. Honestly, like I didn't even I did my popple, so she got my information. I can find her on Facebook because we have mutual friends, but I haven't really gone that route yet. But it was helpful to think of that interaction as an invitation versus just a conversation.
Yeah, I love that, Sarah. And even just to wrap that up to say, hey, do you want me to reach back out in a week or two? And maybe we can talk more about this. It can be super informal, low pressure there. And I would say you let off with an invitation. Hey, do you want to come over here? So yay, A+ on that. Way to go. Christina, how about you? Oops, there we go.
I actually did something similar to Sarah when I got my world tour kit too. I went straight to a friend's house where my kids were at, because while I was at world tour, they were helping watch my kids. And so I took my kit in and I said, I haven't opened this yet. And they were having a game night. So they had a bunch of friends over and their husbands there. And I was like, hopefully you're not playing games right now because I'm opening this. So we opened it and they passed everything around and looked at the catalog. And it is super, it just bringing that with you is definitely bring your stuff with you. There's always an opportunity to connect with somebody new, or offer them to smell something. And then they were picking out things that they wanted to order. And so I was able to, they weren't ready yet. Obviously, it was ready in March. So writing that all down, and then I can follow up and get those orders in March.
I love that. So the last thing I'll say that I really love about this form, and as a leader, I think about things like this in the background when I put this form together. For example, if you get to the end of the week and you notice that all you've circled are A's, what would that tell you? What would that tell you?
And A's is samples too, right?
Samples, A's are samples. Sorry, I should translate all of
Oh,
that.
it's
Yeah.
okay. No,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people love to send out samples and then hope that somebody just approaches them afterwards. Like they're like, I did the work, it's their turn. And it's never their turn. It's always our turn. So
Yes.
following up and turning the sample into something.
Love it. The likelihood that someone is going to take the initiative to follow up is low. And the likelihood that anyone would be offended that you said, hey, I'm going to drop these off. Would it be okay if I just touch base? I would love to hear what you love in a few days. That they would be offended by that is minuscule, the chances of that. It's just such a friendly invitation, but it keeps things moving along versus you do something and then stall. You do something and stall. So I would say, look at those at the end of the week and see if you see any patterns, because you should see that you're moving people along and that you're getting brave and asking other questions, and also that you're not stuck. We sometimes get in the rut or the groove. Our brain really likes ruts or grooves, actually. It's why we like to drive the same directions all the time if we're going to a place versus the variety. So we need to fight against that tendency and say, you know what, I'm going to mix it up. Here's my goal for Thursday. I'm going to ask someone if they'll just have a get together. Because maybe you always lead with samples. Maybe. So open your mind to the opportunity that just doing it a little bit differently might be exactly what someone needs. And there's no need to do this sequentially. You do not need to start at sample and then tick through all those other boxes ever.
Few more good
And
ideas in the chat too.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
They got chatty out of nowhere.
No, it's great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good. Okay, great. And this does kind of tee up follow-up, right? The thing about follow-up is, I agree with you, but follow-up is always, it's called the lag measure. So we have to wait and then we do something. And this is more proactive because this says, no, in that moment when we're talking, I'm going to tee up the next thing that we'll do. And I promise you, if you get into the groove here, these are just really natural, friendly conversations. And the worst thing they could say is, yeah, that timing's kind of off. And you say, no problem. Is there a better time? That's it.
That when we were at World Tour listening to the journey and the invitation thing, especially looking at it again at the second World Tour I went to, I was like, you know what I should have done when I took my testers over to my friend's house after World Tour the first time? I shouldn't have left without either getting links set up for them for March or, you know, like cool that they smelled it and cool we could have gotten an order, but I bet I could have, while they were in the moment and everyone was really excited, I could have probably very easily gotten links set up or pouch parties booked. So yeah, just thinking bigger than just the like start with the order, then move to this, but really going like I could have probably gotten them to book parties before they even ordered anything. So just the easy basic things we kind of forget sometimes.
Yeah. So this is a pretty basic, just a reminder. And we appreciate y'all testing it, trying it out, seeing if you can be successful. I used a similar form in a different role. It helped me tremendously. So we're open to feedback and how we can continue to help. And thanks again for letting me join in your little meeting and for bumping your trivia.
No, it's okay. That was partially me not planning ahead. I was at camp all day and I was like, surely at some point I'll sit down and get trivia ready. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen today. So it's okay. They're really, really forgiving with me.
Okay. No, it's a good idea. You're giving me some good ideas, though. We have a meeting about Summit tomorrow. So
yay, I love Summit. I can't wait. No, we appreciate you, Deb. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Rest of the week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Thank you guys so much for hopping on and giving Deb a good audience. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening and great rest of your month. And I will give you guys more information about trivia later on in the month. Love you all.
Bye.